Mike Barrel here to entertain you with the help of Cat Stevens. Doop, 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 doop. High on the beefsteak. Well, you know, if there's poppy seeds in here, you could kind of get high on the beefsteak. Anyway, that's his song, High on the Peace Train, as part of my mission to wean myself off social media. I'm trying to enjoy my 7,777 CD collection more. And I realized I found this a couple years ago and I haven't listened to it yet. The Best of Cat Stevens. He makes that Wild World song. Moon Shadow I enjoyed. The Father, Son, and Son song was pretty cool. Morning has broken like the first morning. Whoop, there goes ownership of this video. Even if you sing of a little bit of somebody else's property, intellectual property, that gives them the right to just seize ownership of the video. So, you know, any original content that I, put out there really doesn't matter. And anyways, at this point, I've given up any hope I might have had of making money on this platform anyways. It's beside the point. But, yeah, so I'm enjoying my CDs more. And this is a recent find, actually, from the Goodwill. Primitive Radio Gods. The song, oh God, it's got a heck of a, it's got a long title. Really long title that was popular. Standing outside a broken phone booth with money in my hand. That was, I've been down all the days. I've been down all the days. Anyways, but I actually was really enjoying the title song on this one, Rocket. I don't care, so whatever, I'm going to sing a little bit. Rocket my soul, swallow me whole, the rocket began. Rocket, you know, when I explode, the rocket song ends. Rocket, you soar, whether or not the air was too thin. Wherever you go, rocket, you know, I'll be your friend. Anyways, that was the title song from this album. That was the one that grabbed me the most. That's the last song on that one, and it got me thinking, why do I always have a tendency to like the last or second to the last song on CDs? On non-greatest hits CDs that I own. And my theory is that the artist has more freedom. The powers that be can't dictate and say, it's got to be ADG only. Because that's how pathetic and simple-minded the people that are in charge of those organizations are. Another recent find, and I still have to put this in a case, get a case for this, and I got plenty of them. My sister gave me some. But The Shins, an album called Chutes Too Narrow. And the only thing I have to say about this one is, if the Beatles were a punk band. I was watching a video a week ago from Adam Reeder, professor of rock, and he was highlighting the song 8 Miles High from The Byrds. So it prompted me to listen to my greatest hits of The Byrds that I got from the Goodwill for $1.99 or less, depending on whether or not yellow tags were half off or 75% off that day. And I discovered another song I really like called My Back Pages. I was singing about regrets and mistakes they made. But I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now. Yep. And I guess Journey's Greatest Hits Volume 1 was made so much frickin' money, they saw fit finally to make a Volume 2. With Steve Perry, the song from Steve Perry. And also Professor Rock did a video on that Sean Calvin's song "Sonny Came Home," and it got me thinking. Yeah, when we were kids, we sang that song differently. We used it as a means to talk about how our father's unique relationship with his Uncle Wally. Wally came in with some hemorrhoid medicine and said, "Here, Paulie, put this on your hairy little rosebud." And then he laughed manically. Our father and his relationship with his Uncle Wally. All right, now more to the point of this journal entry. I decided I'm not going to dye my hair anymore. It's stupid. My male feminist father started dyeing his hair when he was 29 because he had a strand of gray, I guess. Every day. It was obsessive compulsive. Well, he was a male feminist. I guess I thought it was a good idea because my second job I was surrounded by young people. I thought it was a good idea. But the reality is, it goes against my principles, and I don't want to be a fake human. My father is a walking, talking poster child for fake human. So I just decided it's stupid and I'm not going to do it anymore. And I don't have to do it. My father, he dyed his hair every damn day. But I'm not going to do it anymore. It's stupid. I've shunned him from my life. I can't deal with him. He can die in the street and whatever. I don't care anymore. My new job is going good. I'll have the job whether or not I lose weight, but it'll be less of a burden for me physically if I lose weight. But anyways, no more doing dumb stuff like dyeing my hair. I don't have to. I'm a man. It's women. 70 to 80% of a woman's value is in her looks, her youth, her looks. So my value as a man is in my ability to provide. Of course, I have to be healthy, but I don't need to concern myself with my personal appearance in the way a female does. Turns out for me, working two jobs has really helped me figure out a lot of stuff about my eating disorder, which is partly psychological. Our childhood was very limited. We had bedrooms, living for 6 years under the authority of a male feminist, my father. But we were not allowed to go to our room just to be by ourselves. We had to sit with our butts for 6 years glued to kitchen chairs while my father sat in the bathroom for hours making himself look pretty for the world. That was my childhood. Our bedrooms were just for sleeping only. That was what it's like living under the authority of a male feminist narcissist. But because I'm a guy, I need to be more concerned with my health. I need to be as strong as an ox so I can keep doing this. I need to get this weight off of me so I can keep doing this. So I don't need to be concerned with my looks the way a female does. I wish I was smarter than I am. I just recently figured out a huge stress reducer for me is gum chewing. God, my whole face hurts all week just chewing a big wad of gum. That's the trick. I was always susceptible to biting my tongue or inside my mouth or my lip or whatever, which gum chewing. But if the wad of gum is big enough, that's not an issue. And it really is a good stress reliever. It turns out it's not just for smokers. On one of my video shorts, somebody commented, "Could you name 5 people that will attend your funeral?" And I'm thinking, what funeral? I'm probably not even going to have a funeral. My aunt didn't have a funeral. Why? Nobody could afford it. Having a funeral is a luxury. Apparently that's what most humans don't understand. Even if I was a man of means, I wouldn't have a funeral. It's pointless, really. Early on in life, I didn't have parents that were willing to sacrifice for me. I blame my father more because he was supposed to be the man in the relationship. But right now, the road I'm on right now, I have a very real potential to retire a millionaire. It's pretty cool. Unless I fall ill, but if that were to happen, okay, it's God's will. But that having been said, beware of humans who would see fit to help God's will along. Folks who run the FDA come to mind. Putting poison in our foods. What do they care? It's cheaper to produce the food. That's all they care about. So, the basic message of this YouTube journal entry is I've decided to accept my fate. The odds are I'm not going to have a family. Not of a reflection on me. I know that now. Not a reflection on me. It's just the time I was born into. Terrence Matt Cross, 33 Secrets YouTube channels talk about this all the time. Modern females are just not capable of pair bonding with one good man. Modern females use their golden V's as nothing more than a weapons tactic in their involvement with the men that they choose to be involved with. So I decided to embrace my fate, enjoy my life, my hobbies, watch my bank account grow, enjoy my beautiful home. Sure, it gets lonely sometimes, but I work 2 jobs, and when the time comes for me to retire from one, I'll get me a kitty cat. 1 kitty cat, not 40. That's the fundamental difference between modern males and modern females. Modern females don't know the definition of limits. I had a kitty cat. Picture back there next to Jesus there. That was me and my kitty cat. God let me have her for 17 years. Not without effort on my part. I mean, we were evicted and she had to live in my car for one winter. I lived at the Y. When I say to guys at work, both jobs, whether they're way younger than me or way older, that, hey, at least I have what I have, and at least what I have is mine. I don't have to share it with nobody. And the first thing they say is, "Are you married?" And I say, "Nope." And they say, "Lucky you." Apparently, the institution of marriage is not all it's cracked up to be. If a female doesn't have youth, fertility, and a healthy desire to submit to you, to your leadership, and what's the point? All right, so I'm going to tell a little anecdote from the store, my grocery store part-time job. Now, this customer comes in, a regular, and he tells me, my wife, he doesn't say X, I swear to God, I recall he did not say X. He said, my wife and her boyfriend are going to Vegas. And he's expressing that this is depressing for him because it's costing him more money to see his kids because of this. But because of my bad ear, I misheard him, and I thought he said, my wife and her boyfriend are going to Vegas, and I'm paying for it. I said, you're a nicer guy than I am. I'm 2 each his own. I'm not making a judgment here. Oh, God, can you imagine? Have fun, honey. No, that kind of relationship would not work for me. So, anyways, I'm going to do something I don't get to do that often anymore. I'm going to watch a movie. This movie is one I acquired. Actually, a couple. I was buying them at such a geometric rate at the Goodwill. Sometimes they're even wrapped up like new. But The Cinderella Man. Always been curious about this movie. Never actually saw it. So I'm going to watch it today. Not only do I have 2 copies of the film, including the collector's edition, which I started reading the booklet. I had to stop because it was feeling like it was going to spoil it. But then I also got this ESPN documentary about the real guy, James J. Braddock. So, and because of my recent find at the Goodwill, I'll be able to make it an interactive experience. $30 at the Goodwill.